For any other wannabe content creators out there, you said you had a humble start. What piece of advice would you give them? Maybe the lack of gear, maybe the lack of experience, maybe not. Some of them out of college and they don't have any videography experience, any video production experience. What would you tell them?
So this is a good question. I really like this question, and it's been answered like 100 different ways. You always hear the generic, don't care about the gear you have. And ultimately, it's very true. In esports, it's really easy to get intimidated by the people carrying like Reds,
We've seen some of that here.
Right, exactly. And so like even if you saw me shooting next to the commercial, like the commercial had like 2 Reds with like really awesome cine lenses. I'm here with my A7S, which don't get me wrong, an A7S II with the Sony 24-70 that I'm using today is an amazing camera to have, and I'm very lucky to even be bringing that. We didn't bring our FS7s because they're currently in Korea and in NA because we're doing 2 other events right now. But the point of this was to not worry about your gear. Film used to be, Casey and I said this recently on Hot Ones. I don't know if you watch Hot Ones. He recently said that it doesn't matter what gear you have, because film used to be this unattainable thing that you need these big ass like cameras to use. Now you can use your cell phone, and your cell phone is like a quality that you cannot tell if that was used, like if you used anything else. Sure, you don't get the perks of like zooming or the focus, but there's always things you can do. Now you can just publish. You can make something, edit it however you want, and publish it. That's really all you need. Granted, yes, you want to match the quality of other teams. You want to, that competitive nature in film, just like you want it to be good. But if you want to constantly make something good and you keep pausing yourself to make this one ideal piece that you have in mind, you're never going to make anything because you're never going to get that piece out. So make something shitty. Just start doing something. Learn techniques. Like make the idea you have in your mind as best you can at the time. And if you can revisit it later, revisit it. But like make something shitty, learn from it, and then keep making things until you are comfortable with what you're making, Like, you show that dedication, you show that passion, like, esports and will recognize it. Like, sure, it could be a long road. There's going to be a lot of, like, decline and whatnot, but there's still esports that are really small. Like, Call of Duty is not a small esport, but it doesn't have a lot of content behind it. Overwatch League is starting. Big esport, still not a lot of content. But then there's, like, fighting games. There's Smash Brothers. There's teams that, I know it's not the esport you probably, like, want to be in. Like, a lot of people want to be in CSGO, but there's still premier teams for CSGO. There's content to be made about a lot of stuff in esports that's not being made, and that I think if you reach out and you try, you can do it. But ultimately, grab your cell phone, like, download an editing program for free. Try the light version of, Sony Vegas right now, the Humble Bundle is $20. So ultimately, just get out there and, like, start creating things.
Yeah, it's just put yourself out there. Eventually, someone's gonna catch up with your work. You never know when your name might pop up in a meeting. Someone might need any help. They might reach out to you. Just put yourself out there. It's tough, and sometimes you might be discouraged, but you just have to put it out there. So you mentioned there's 4 people currently working as videographers, right? At One Up Studios.
Yeah.
Could you speak a bit about them?
Pretty sure I can say this. Pretty sure. So we have a really sick team with One Up Studios. So the 4 people we have is myself, which my job is basically a videographer / editor, just like the old school esports all around. Whatever needs to be done. If I need to go at this event, if I need to edit as well, cool. Could do both. It's awesome. Next we have director of post-production Ian Sansevera, and he's a god. If you ever want to see someone edit some crazy shit, it is Ian. YouTube channel, youtube.com/learn how to edit stuff. Guy's amazing. He could just edit like nobody's business. His cut downs are insane. His like organization, like, because people don't think organization when it comes into editing, huge plus. Knowing which line, like if you use Premiere, like which track is which, you should see my editing for the beginning and what it is now. It is like clean. Oh, it's amazing. Then you have Damien Estrada, which people know Damien. Rebirth, the guy who really pushed League content when no one was making it. He's amazing. He's our creative director. He runs the show. Gets his final say into everything we do. He also shoots very clean when he gets to shoot. Poor guy's always tied up. He just wants to shoot, but he has to run a company, unfortunately. But he kills it. He's amazing. he brands everything really well. It's a collaborative process, but he comes up with a lot of ideas. Like a lot of people really praise the Dota intro for Champions, and that guy. So funny story about if you want a side segment. Champions has that really sick intro people really like. They talked about it on the Dota Summit, and the thing about it was we had to release the next day. Like it was live. Really interesting place for them to stand. It was going to go live the next day, and the intro didn't have any of the lines, like the lines that are the branding of Champions. And we're like, we didn't think of it. It just didn't feel right. And so Damien Estrada, we've been working for hours at this point, like days, and just like constantly trying to get this out because True Sight was announced that it was going to come out like on that Tuesday or something. And we were like, no way we're releasing after True Sight. So we move our entire schedule up just to beat True Sight. And so the day before, it needs to go live on Twitch. There's no lines, and we're like, this doesn't feel right. And then Damien's like, we should do the lines. And we're all exhausted. We're like, screw you, Damien. Like, we don't want to do this. But, everyone's like, we want to make the best content. So that's mostly a joke. And we do the line. We work hard. We get it out, and just perfect. It was like those lines made it. They tied it together. They tied the whole show together. It was amazing. We loved it. So the creative director was like, he knew what we had to do. He motivated his team. We did it. It was awesome. Then you got the freaking key piece. It's Logan Dotson. He's the sleeper cell. Nobody knows about him. He is amazing. The guy can edit. This guy's motion graphics are the most insane motion graphics I've ever seen. He is dedicated. Like, he will not know how to do something. He won't ever say that. He'll just say, yeah, I could do that. And then he'll just figure it out as we go. Like, we recently released a piece, or we've been doing history pieces for Curse. And he made this intro, which is basically like Marvel's cinematic intro with he was like, yeah, I could probably figure out how to do it. And he did, and it's just amazing. The guy's incredibly talented. That's Logan Dotson. So the four of us together, we make a good pack. I'll go, I travel, I film everything. Ian could even film. Like, he's a god at post-production, but he's a god at filming too. He made the entirety of Champions 3 by himself, except for someone who helped him with gameplay. But yeah, so everyone's really fucking talented, really amazing. Even Logan's learning how to shoot. Like, we just are all hands-on to making the best esports content. So this 4-people team has been really cultivated to be the best that we can find right at the moment.
Yeah, it truly shows. One thing you mentioned is, was it Logan, right? Motion graphics. He says he knows something, he doesn't, and he figures it out. I think that's the spirit.
Absolutely.
If you want to make something out of this, you just gotta say yes and figure it out as you go along the way.
Right.
You won't ever have all the answers at that time you need them, but you can work towards it. So that's the spirit. Hopefully you guys take that into account. So I think, Gabriel, this might be it.
Yeah.
Any final words for any fans of One Up Studios, any fans of the work you put out there? What do you want to say to fans?
Sure. Obviously, thank you. Not really sure if you know who I am, but to the love we get on our content, to the love that we get, especially from the league, and now the Dota subreddits, thank you so much. We love making it. We put a lot of work into it. We don't show the hours that go into these things. Not just us. You got to imagine, every content creator, we're working on a very tight schedule. With how many esports events there are now, it's this content isn't evergreen. Yeah. This content, if this ECS project doesn't come out before the new year,
what's the point? Yeah.
What's the point? And New Year is giving it some time. It's giving it some legs. Yeah. Okay, everyone wants to take some break for Christmas and whatnot, but we need to get this piece out before that. It's just all the content that we're getting right now is amazing, and I wouldn't even call it the golden age because I know it's going to get immensely better. Yeah. But it's free. There's nothing you have to do. You can just enjoy, sit back, and know that it's Thursday morning. You're about to get some sick ass content. Yeah. Thank you for watching it. Show some appreciation to not just in One Up, but show it to every content creator that you see, because they're putting in a lot of work, and it's all because of the love of the sport. Yes, player salaries are growing immensely. Content salaries are pretty much the same. It's not growing. It's passion. At this point, we want it to grow into something amazing. And just thank you for watching. And if there's any other questions you ever have, I'm always welcome to answer them. I always want new creators in the space. I think there's a lot of room for them. I think that media, we've gotten to a point where it's getting very formulaic with events and whatnot, and we just need some fresh mindsets out there. So keep creating, guys. I think there's a lot of room to grow.
Any plugs you want to have for the video? Where can people find you specifically, your work? Do whatever, man.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't have to eat hot sauce for this. This is amazing. I guess plugs is just, 1UpGG. It's our main 1Up channel. You can see a lot of behind the scenes stuff. We released some really funny videos. The team forced me to put my phone in water the other day. I mean, it's waterproof, but it's still like a weird feeling. So on Twitter, it's at 1UpGG. I think across the board, Instagram, Facebook, it's all 1UpGG. My personal one, if you ever want to ask any questions, I love answering on Twitter. I have a lot of questions to answer on Reddit that I haven't answered yet. And that's just at Gabe J. Ruiz, G-A-B-E-J. It's down here, I'm sure. If it's not, sorry, editors. It's down here. But other than that, a lot of content creators you can always find on Twitter, and they're always happy to answer questions. And, to anyone watching this that doesn't have a good camera, I honestly plead for you to go out there and release it. Show me, and I'll give you some feedback on it. Like even right now, like we're rocking with a light, and I just looked right at the light. It's a Canon. Yeah, exactly. Like amazing camera. Don't get me wrong, but still, like you can get easily intimidated by everything walking around at this event. Like just keep it creating. Like this is an amazing outlet. Like even doing these interviews. Like the fact that you're here, like that's amazing. ECS like looks at like the outlets like you guys and like smaller outlets that want to grow, and you can tell the passion here. You can tell you've been sitting here waiting for players to come out like the entire time of the tournament. It's just amazing. Like keep grinding. You guys are doing amazing. And if there's anything that we can do, please let us know.
Thank you very much. Speaking of which, we'd like to give you just a small token for you to remember us by.
Sure,
it's a sticker of our outlet. Our name is La Gema. This is our Twitter handle. Yeah.
Nice.
You can find us there. And that's it, man.
La Gema. Awesome logo.
And that's pretty much it, man. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll hopefully get more opportunities to talk to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I mean, this is fun. This is the first time I've ever spoken about content, so I hope it wasn't awful to watch. But thank you guys.
Muchas gracias, esperemos que les haya gustado mucho esta entrevista con Gabriel de 1UP Studios. Sigan nuestras entrevistas de la final de ECS.